Hi guys, John here. Today's going to be an update video on my Aqua 1 Mini Reef 120. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while, I've just had a lot of things going on with school and everything like that. So my last video I left on the note of me getting a new Coris Wrasse. And for you guys that don't know or haven't followed me on Facebook, you wouldn't have known, but I still have that Coris Wrasse. It's doing very well, and everything I can tell you is doing very well. There are a couple of issues with the tank, which I'll touch on in a little bit in the later video, just due with like algae and stuff like that. But other than that, everything is happy and healthy, and nothing has really been hit that bad. So now, like I said, sorry about the noise. You can see I've got my two lovebirds over there. Now, hopefully you can hear me better. I've got my earphones on with the speaker. Now, with this tank, like I said, not many things have changed. There's a couple of things that have changed. I've moved a bit of the rock work around. I'll do close-ups in a second. I'll just talk about what's happening. So like I said, I've moved a couple of the rock works down. I've bunched them up. A couple of things have changed. My zoanthids and everything are growing perfectly. And I've had a bit of an algae issue in the tank. But for starters, I'll just talk about the fish and the coral and tell you what's been going on. Like I said, the last video I was updating everyone on my Coris Wrasse I had been added, and my clownfish were in a breeder box that you can see down there. And the reason they were in that breeder box is because they were very aggressive to any new fish adding to the tank. Now, people may know, or you guys may be tuning in for the first time, I have my clownfish in the tank. I have a pair over here and just two over here. So I've got 4 clownfish all up, and this is, like I said, it's a 120 litre system. It's a very small system, if I say so myself, and it's really not meant for 4 clownfish. But I was lucky enough, I dare say, for my clownfish to get on pretty well. So you can see my pair clownfish over here. They're extremely beautiful animals. They love being in the anemones and stuff like that. They don't hassle anyone too much, I say. They've got, like they said, they've got their 3 anemones. They've got 2 green bubble tip anemones and then a 1 crisper anemone, which that's not big enough to host yet. But then I've got also my 2 black and white Ocellaris clownfish, which are also extremely beautiful clownfish and very well-natured, but they do get occasionally attacked sometimes due to just being in a tank that is fairly small for clownfish. But other than that, they do get along quite well. I've got no nipped fins. She does threaten to attack quite often, but she never really does. And that's an issue I had with my addition of the Coris Wrasse. The Coris Wrasse, when I had added him or her, I'm not sure, to the tank, they were bullying it a lot. And as you can see, they're very much used to it now. But as you would have known, that a pair was an aggressive clownfish. They attacked everything that came next to the anemone, and the Coris Wrasse did like to go near the anemone. And that did cause quite a lot of problems for the Coris Wrasse, because not many people know, but a Coris Wrasse burrows under the sand at night time to sleep, and also when it is scared, and it wasn't helping that fish in any way, shape or form, that it was burying itself when it got scared, because it wouldn't come out for days on end. And eventually I gave up. I said, it was pretty I wouldn't say it's bad, but I just said, if it dies, it dies. It's a shame, but I can't exactly tear up my whole tank to get this fish out. And eventually, within 2 weeks, he was swimming out and about, and he was happy as with everyone else, just like my Melanaris Wrasse in the corner over here. No problem with anyone else at all. And since then, they've been getting on fine, and the aggression in the tank has actually been lowered quite a bit, which has definitely helped everyone in the tank in the long run. Now, the coral changes in the tank, it's not a huge, nothing was added. Some stuff was changed. If you guys can remember from my last video, see if it will focus. Just get it to focus. There you go. You can see that my hammer forest, you could say, or hammer cluster is looking very nice. If you do notice, I've got one of this was my last hammer coral that I added. It was a purple, wasn't a purple, it was a reverse stem hammer coral, and I have two of them. This was a big one, and I accidentally cut it. I was trying to cut a dead head off, and I accidentally split the whole coral in half. But luckily, it bounced back pretty well from that cut, and nothing came of that. That was too bad. I'll just turn the lights up a bit on this to see if we can get a bit more. There you go. That should look a little clearer, hopefully. So I ended up moving all the coral around, because when I moved that big rock at the back, if you guys can remember, I had a big rock up here. It did kill a head on that, and so I said I might as well get that out before something bad happens to the tank. It gets brown jelly or something like that on it. So I cut that head off and split the whole coral, which I got pretty upset about, but luckily I didn't kill any. So with the hammer corals, I've got my reverse stem hammer, another reverse stem, which is the same one. I got a mottled hammer coral, and just have a normal hammer coral and a torch. It's a torch slash frog spawn, this one. It's like a hybrid, if I can get it to focus. It's got very long stems, but it's got like frog spawn tips to it, so it is quite interesting. Now you may be able to see with this light a lot better that I have a bit of a green hair algae issue. I'll see if I can just zoom in on that. You can just see it's just it's not exactly a green hair algae that is very stringy, but it's a very like moss type. Only covers amounts of the tank, so you can see it's actually just on that rock, which I'm very happy about. It has spread to little areas. You can see like in that crevice, there's some in just a tiny bit over there, and just a bit on these zoanthids, which my hermit crabs attacked and actually killed most of them, and hardly any on here. Just a little bit of green hair algae on these zoanthids over in this corner, but they're recovering quite well, and I could attribute that to nutrients in the water. To be honest, I have not done a water change in around 2 months on this tank. I wouldn't say I've neglected it, but I wanted to see how far I could go before stuff went to go a bit pear-shaped. And I've recently done a water change about 2 weeks ago, which seemed to sort things out, and I'm due to do one in another day or two. And I'll start then back on my weekly water changes to get everything back to normal. Because I did start to notice that my torch coral, one of my green stem torch coral, was bleaching the tips a bit, and I didn't want that, so I did the water change, and I realized around 2 months is my tank's limit before stuff goes pear-shaped. I'm still dosing my calcium, magnesium, and alkalinity or carbonate into the water, and everything's growing fine. If you do notice that my green star polyps over here aren't looking as good as they normally look at the back, because they had quite a bit of that hair algae on them, and I gave them a good scrub only around yesterday, which with a real brand new toothbrush. So it was very hard, and I got all of it off, and they've just started to open now. And that's another good tip to give you. If you're ever looking at growing green star polyps, the key thing is to keep them clean, because they do get a lot of residue and detritus on them. So you want to always keep them clean, and to rip that off, or scrub it off, or blow it off with a turkey baster or a syringe or something like that. My green tip torch coral is growing, I dare say, amazingly. It's going really well, growing perfectly. The coloration on it is really good. Sorry about the shaky camera, I'm just trying to get it to focus, if it will. There you go. And then I have, like I said, my green tip torch coral. Not green tip, green stem, sorry. Torch coral, which is growing awesome. And then I'll just show you quick things of the anemones. They're growing great. Everything is seeming to going very well in this tank, other than that small issue of that algae in the tank. not many other things have happened in this tank other than a bit of, I've actually gotten a lot of growth from my refugium. I'll just turn the refugium light on down here. I've turned that on. I'll just open this section and lower down. Now, if you can see the refugium, this is what my sump looks like. I know I don't do a lot of videos on my sump, and I thought I might as well just incorporate a video of this in my sump, just because a lot of people on Facebook and YouTube are asking what my sump looks like and what I have. For starters, I'm sorry about the light. It might be a bit hard to see, but I'm doing my best to show you the best of my sump. So I've just got the overflow going into a filter sock, and that gets filtered out, obviously, the big particles. Then I have some biological filtration here. I've got all chemi-pure balls and cubes. Then I've got a bag of did I say chemi-pure? Marine pure, sorry, balls and cubes. Then I have a chemi-pure bag for carbon in there, and that is being actively filtered, or the filtration. Passive filtration is when you put it in the sump and the water is around it. Active circulation or filtration is when the water is going through it. And if you can see this pump right here, it's facing directly on the chemi-pure bag and pushing the chiller water through there. So it is actively being fed water. Then you can see I have my Aqua 1 protein skimmer at the back, which you can see is going very well and pulling a lot of skim, mate. Now this is in 2 days. You can see that's a lot, 2 days worth. My refugium is growing and going magnificently. If you can see that is fully covered, all of that, and to the bottom. So that's, I dare say, actually a foot or two. I'm not sure if I have my ruler here, but I'll see. Basically over half a foot of algae that is fully growing. You can see that. Then I have my reactor with I'm just running Fosguard that needs to be changed out, and then I just have my return pump going back to the tank, along with my heater over in that corner. Once again, sorry about the light, it's a bit hard. So that's all the sump. The refugium is what I was mainly on about, because that's been growing awesome and growing very well. So now I'll just show you all close-ups of the fish and see if you get some good footage of them. See if I can get this to focus on the fish. There you go, you can see them. This is my black and white Ocellaris clownfish. They're doing very well. I've had these guys for around 3 months now. And I've got my, so I'll just tap on the glass, get the little one out. I have my photon clownfish. I've had them for just under a year now. I have my Melanaris Wrasse, which you can see his head's popping out. I'll actually give the fish a bit of a feed and show you guys all of that. All I feed my fish is I've gone over to pellet, so it's New Life Spectrum regular formula. I do very much like this form of pellet. My fish all love it. It did take them around 2 weeks to get onto it, but after that period, they were quite happy with it. So I'll just open this container with one hand, which can be a bit of a challenge. Sorry about the angle you're on. Perfect. So you can see I've got quite a bit of coralline algae growth in the tank. I have been upping my carbonate dosage amount to my tank. I manually dose my tank every 2 days. Because I know what's going in, and it gets any mechanical issues out. So like I said, just feed them a bit. You can see how many I've given them, how much I've given them. Not too much, but not too little. They've actually already had a feed today, so this is an extra feed. So this is a good time to take a look at all my fish. You can see my Melanaris Wrasse and Coris Wrasse are out and about. they get along perfectly. Many people find out the different Wrasses don't get along, but I'm happy that mine do. I've never ever had issues with them. You can see my bicolor blenny is just sticking its head out right there. He's a very interesting little fish, and heaps of character. So I think that's all the update is going to hold today. There's not much anything else to talk about. I am probably going to add a couple more coral to the tank and get a little bit more equipment to the tank, just to make everything a little bit more smooth and work a little better. But other than that, that's all the new things I've added to the tank. So thanks. Thank you guys for watching. I did recently hit 3,000 subscribers, which is a huge achievement, and this video is pretty much commemorating that. I basically did hit 3,000 subscribers. I dare say due to my marine fish tank. Although my bearded dragons do have a lot to play with that. A lot of my bearded dragons are actually in hibernation, right, or brumation is what you call it, but it's just like a sleeping period. None of my babies are, but both of my adults and a couple of my boys are in brumation, so they're not too much the video about them, but I'll definitely keep you guys updated on this tank and show you how it goes, and hopefully in the 6 to 8 month mark I'll be getting a Red Sea Reef for 250. That's what I'm hopefully going to be saving up, and probably around Christmas time or maybe in June next year, so maybe another year or so, but definitely that's something to look out for. That will be happening on this channel, and I'll be showing you how I set that up. So thanks for watching.